Fred, the politicians use promises to win elections. And the promises that were made by UDA and the company, what you would call Kenya Kwanza, were based on how do we win this election. We must promise something that sounds like we know where we are heading. And therefore, we promise that we will no longer, we'll depart. The idea was we're going to depart from the policies of this government that have failed us, that have taken that, and having sat there as a leader of majority in the Senate, and we were struggling at that time. If you notice, we were struggling to raise the ceiling, debt ceiling. Even under Uhuru Kenyatta, we were struggling to raise, because from independence we had not exceeded 7 trillion as debt, and now for the first time in the last government, we were moving it from there to 9 trillion. And the ceiling, we lifted up the ceiling, we took it up to, and now it has come to almost no ceiling at all. Because now, so imagine from independence to where we were, 7 trillion was almost the ceiling. And now from 9 to 12. I mean, that's extremely, and very, very high and very rapid. And the question that comes, as you said correctly, is what is there to show for it? And everybody does their math very quickly, by the way. So it is 3-point-something trillion. Why can there be just a deliberate information, production of results and tell us, okay, for our 3-point-something trillion, this is what we have done. And then we do the math. So where are the gaps? And why are we not seeing what's going on? So it's actually one of the things. I do believe that when the president made that promise at that time as a candidate, he simply wanted to show that he has a solution for this kind of problem. We will not borrow. We will stem all this borrowing. We will, we'll be prudent and blah, blah. But now things have come to a head. And I'm glad that somebody is raising this issue. And again, this is what the media is supposed to do. Raise the issues without getting in the issue, but raise the issues for us to take statistics and take correct information home. So it's also correct information. So it is true, and we will continue to borrow because the way we are spending our resources in this country, Fred, you definitely will continue borrowing. The largesse, and it comes at the time when we are being told how much money is being used for mandasis and tea. That largesse, and we've spoken about it here. If we cannot cut our cloth, our suit according to our cloth, it's going to be nasty here. The way we have adopted a different kind of lifestyle, where almost every cabinet minister now has a chase car, where like I said again, everybody adapted now to the mode of flying choppers, where we see cash being distributed on a daily basis. When you look at that, that's called a largesse. You can explain to us, is that what the debt was borrowed for? Is that what our debt is? Because for every other development, as you have said, for any other development, these roads, the railways and so forth, there are different models of borrowing. And so if the debts are from the previous government, there must have been a way to pay them that time. It must have been stated clearly that we're going to pay this, but not by excessive borrowing. This is actually called excessive, because to move from a 7 trillion to already 12 trillion is rapid, and government must stop. Sometimes, as they say, Fred, if you are in a hole, the first thing you do is stop digging. Stop, that's the first thing you do. Because if you continue digging, you get deeper and deeper in debt. So what will happen to our country if we stop digging? Mm-hmm. Because you're already raising money from taxation, and a lot of money. The revenue from the KRA gets, it's actually lots of money. So why don't we at some point say, okay, we stop here. Let's now deal with our situation as it is. That's what has happened in other countries. Many countries, including rebasing. There are many other issues that you do because you come and say, now we must begin to think this debt is going to drown us. But on the other hand, let me just say, sometimes it looks like this is a very big debt. Okay, it is very big debt for a country like ours. But also, a nation must be credit worthy. Okay, credit worthy. For people to lend you money, you must look like you are credit worthy, just like any other customer in a bank. Yeah. Then the banks, people are willing to give you money if you have absorption capacity. The problem now is when you absorb it and then you don't use it for the purpose.
And the question is, Wakili, because now we're marking 3 years since William Ruto took over. And in the 3 years, many people looking back, any